good afternoon. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Great. Heard about one weekend event. Anyone else? Anything exciting
I had two family parties
over the weekend?
on Saturday and Sunday.
What kind of parties were there?
It was a 30th party, like their 30th birthday, and then my first birthday.
Oh, celebrating, okay. Was it like niece, nephew or something?
It's my sister's godson.
Yeah, two different type of parties, right?
Two different types of lit.
I don't know, some people are gonna be lit for the 1-year-old too, right?
Yeah.
Have some alcohol. All right, who has some blurbs to share at the end of class? Something to share. Or maybe during class you can come up with something, right? You can find some, share. All right, moving along, we are at deciding. All right, so we've learned about what motivates people, how we condition consumers to learn, how do we get them to form new habits. All right, but here we're going to look at how we get consumers to make decisions, right? What's the process, a systematic way of understanding how consumers make decisions, how we make decisions overall. Right? Our mind kind of places these sets of alternatives into little mental buckets. We decide what our options are, maybe some contextual factors like our mood, our attitude, how much money we have, our environment, geographical location, personality, a lot of things that can contribute to our decision-making process. So we kind of get into that. All right, next chapter, we're going to identify two primary ways in which consumers make decisions. All right, we'll outline rational, slow decision-making versus fast decision-making, and summarize the ways in which we engage the rules of thumb to make decisions as well, too. We'll also describe how context effects can influence the decision-making of the consumer, even when the consumer is unaware. So we'll talk about conscious and unconscious sort of behavior when we make decisions, right? How they influence. And discuss online shopping and purchasing platforms influence on consumer behavior. All right, so we got two primary consumer decision-making systems, right? Fast or slow. Remember when we learned in things like memory, we have short-term memory, we have long-term memory. Anything that kind of goes into long-term memory is permanent, which we don't need to relearn it. Anything that's permanent tends to be automatic, it's unconscious, doesn't require much thinking, doesn't require much mental effort, doesn't require much mental energy, right? So we have automatic systems, and that's kind of where system one kind of falls into, right? So it's fast, simple things we buy every day. Go get a bag of chips, go get some Snickers at payday, maybe go get groceries, things we don't have to think about, right? We don't have to put much thought into think about what we need. We know that we're hungry, we may have a particular craving about something, and it could be that item, and it's unconscious. Automatic, everyday decision, and usually error prone. Right? Which means that, hey, you know what? We came in with a craving for sugar. We really came in, we wanted Snickers. We end up not leaving with Snickers. Right? Because we wouldn't put much thought in anything. We saw all the candy right there. It was like, you know what? Maybe I'll buy Reese's Pieces or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups instead. Right? For some reason, you know, it's just like, hey, the packaging just stuck out for some reason. We go to eat it, and we're like, oh man, I should have got a Snickers. Right? Or you got the wrong kind of pop food you want. So it has a lot of error. It leads to some regrets, basically, right? Some post-purchase regrets. But it's just only really for certain items, right? You're not buying the car in this process, right? Like you're not going to buy a car fast and not really think about it. Right? Well, unconscious behavior. It's a totally different process. It depends on what we're doing. You're not going to come to university without, you know, Alright, and then system two, we say a slow, very conscious, effortful, complex decision. Like, hey, I'm home. Like, interesting, what are you gonna taste for? I don't know. Fast food. Right? Like, okay, now you gotta think. Well, what are all the fast food places located nearby, within driving distance, within 5 minutes of driving distance? Right? Maybe like, hey, you know what, let me check my rewards apps to see which ones I get the most points for. Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chipotle, et cetera. Right, and then you may think of even your budget, like how much I want to spend, right? What are the alternatives, the options, what can I have? So it requires a little more effort. We have to think about the alternative. And this could apply to major things, to buying a house. Right? Very complex. Like, hey, what are the interest rates? Right? What will the mortgage amount be if I put X amount of dollars down versus Y amount of dollars down? Hey, I wonder how the school system is in that neighborhood. Man, I wonder how the housing taxes, too much taxes, I can't afford that. Taxes ruin. Right? See, a lot of complex decision making comes, but it's reliable. Put so much thought and effort into this process, because more of, satisfaction, I would say, to your final choice. Right? The final decision you usually live with because you put so much effort. You ran all the sort of processes. So here, let's think about either one. Maybe in our groups, or maybe this isn't, it doesn't matter. Let's think of items that we recently bought slow, using the slow approach, the system 2 approach. Let's think of some items that you bought and tell me about the things that you considered before you made the purchase. Like, what were some of the considerations that you made before the purchase? All right, so I give you about 3 minutes to think about some stuff. Now, it's interesting that this model kind of applies to most of everything in life, whether it's taking a job, romantic relationships, things dealing with education, right? Things dealing with family and children. We do kind of operate on system 1 and system 2. And you can really gauge people. You can be like, hey, I think I know a person that kind of always operates on system 1. And they make a lot of errors in their life. They're very irrational. Because maybe system 1 is more emotional appeal, right? Like you have a craving, hunger is an emotion, right? And it kind of drives you to do maybe things that you really, maybe like an option would be healthy, but you don't really care about it. You operate off emotion, not logic. Something to think about. This kind of applies to everyday aspects of life in general. Tim, you got anything for us?
I could think of myself stopping from making a fast decision. I would be like almost on the brink of making that choice to buy something that I go, wait, I probably shouldn't. College student, probably shouldn't spend my money on that.
Anything recent memory that you did?
I mean, just last night I was thinking about buying a game and then I was like, sale, which was the only reason why I was considering it. It was like $11, which isn't terrible.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't even know if I like it. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, you're like, hey, you know what, it looks cool, right? But maybe I don't know, maybe I wanna go on YouTube and go on Twitch and see somebody play it, so I can see the game play before I decide to make that commitment or something. Rather than you think like, oh, it might not be $11 next time when you're ready to buy it, right? Yeah, okay, good example there. Over here.
Oh, so I bought this MacBook Pro recently, and I looked at all the different other laptops and MacBooks to see the qualities of all of them and to compare like the prices, and I ended up choosing this one. But I didn't just like buy it like really fast. I had to look into it.
What was the number one important factor, like one thing you weren't willing to compromise on in that decision?
Mm,
Was it the size?
yeah, the size was yeah, because I didn't want a big one because I'm using it for school. I didn't want a big one, so yeah, the size.
Okay, cool, laptop.
I was gonna say kind of similar, like making a decision and then changing your mind. So like I used to work near a pet store and I would like to go in there and browse, you know. And I really wanted to buy like a goldfinch, but then I realized like you have to buy a cage and a food. It was a really hard decision though, because like I was like, you know, it'd be a nice add to like my dorm, but and I realized like, you know, a fish tank is pretty expensive, and like all that together was too much. Unless I bought like a fish pool.
Was, when you reflected on this, did you consider like the effort and time needed to like take care of the fish? Like cleaning, feeding?
Honestly, not really. I think it's just because I was eating out with someone and they convinced me not to buy it. Because I'm very impulsive sometimes. Like, majority of my decisions when I go to shop, I'm like, I'm just gonna buy that. Like, I'm not even.
Do you find yourself regretting quite a bit of purchases that you do? I know, you
I
feel.
like what I buy.
Alright, so goldfish, like, hey, idealistically, I wanna goldfish at PetSmart, Petco, but then you realize, oh man, here's my water pump, now they gotta be a certain size aquarium based on what kind of fish it is, right? You also gotta clean it and stuff, it's a lot going to it.
My holiday pay ticket,
Which one?
the holiday pay ticket, plane ticket and the.
Oh, plane ticket? Yeah, that's a big one. How did you conclude which one to buy?
The cheapest one.
That there was about price. It wasn't about,
And if there is a lot of waiting time to like
Yeah.
stuff, that's how it is.
so for you, you're like, hey, there's a perfect line where the right price with the least amount of waiting time. It may not be the shortest waiting time, because that might be more expensive. But you're like, there's like a cross somewhere, right? Perfect waiting time, perfect price. Okay.
Also my vacation, so I would talk about the things and the one most why I would enjoy it.
Was it all in one package or like different things? Like, I'll get this hotel, rent this car. these-
Yeah, it was like, I will go to flights and after the hotel.
Okay. Excellent. Okay.
So it's not recently, but the last thing I purchased, I was kind of like a slow, system processor. It was like my Bluetooth headphone, because I had to like compare it to other headphones and then see like which one would work better. Like
For an
battery
iPhone?
life. Huh?
For an iPhone?
No, for a headphone, Bluetooth headphone.
Oh, okay, just regular headphones.
Yes.
Okay.
I had to see like the battery life, now trip time hours it has, what features it makes it different from the other products.
And what did you find like this item?
I decided on these black headphones because also it was mainly the color that I wanted.
some non-negotiable. You're like, hey, no matter what I did, it gotta look good, and I want it to be black or purple, right? And so I'll go from there, I'll look at the alternatives that can fit that. But we kinda have a starting point, even in this, slow process. We start with things like, I can't give up on that, but I can give up on these things a little bit. Is there anything you want to share?
Well, recently, there was like snow process. I also bought plane ticket for spring break. I'm going to Mexico. It was a slow process because I need to check when I want to do the departure. Because I was thinking after the Friday 28th, but I wasn't sure if it had class or not. So me and my family we have to see if we live on the 28th or the first March 1st. And it was a really like long process. 'Cause I had to check my schedule. My sister had to start with her boss. Yeah, it was like a really long and slow process
Okay.
to get there.
Anything, do you have any non-negotiables to be like, me personally, I don't like to fly at night. Like, I wouldn't take an overnight flight, like locally, I wouldn't catch a flight leaving at like 10 p.m. or later. Was that a consideration?
Not really, as long as we get there,
Okay.
that's what it's important to us. Because actually my flight is leaving at 10 p.m.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
So when I bought my Xbox, yeah, 'cause originally I was thinking about like buying PC so I could like build it. But like the parts, like the cheapest one, I was like, I was going through YouTube and like the cheapest I could build a PC for was like $500. So like, I wanted to, like I did more research and I found that it was like with Xbox Series X, that's what I ended up buying. But it was like you could kind of make it into a PC, like it kind of function as a PC. So I just ended up buying that because it was cheaper. But that's mainly just because I bought it because it was cheap. But it kind of took a process to see like what options I could have to like actually like play games.
Yeah. And think of building a PC, like, you gotta try to match the processing power of the Xbox at minimum, right?
Yeah, so for system, I'm really thinking like stuff like the subscription you have, like the Amazon or Spotify that might fall under like the automatic aspect. And then so like system two, might put a little more thought and effort into like any like food products like deodorant or shampoo or stuff like that.
Yeah, think of simple things, they can kind of cross over. You talk about even kind of everyday, items, it could be deodorant, it could be shampoo, it could be, you might have to put a lot of thought into this, right? Like, I don't like scented stuff, too heavily scented, but it has to be able to clean really good, right? Or, it could be moisturizing, it could be for color treatments of hair, gotta be certain hair texture, certain grade. Yeah, even that could be a slow process, right? We're thinking out of different sort of alternatives. Anything you wanna add, Tracy? Okay, so system one, system two. Okay, so some steps in it. We say problem recognition. We're hungry, there's a problem. We're thirsty, there's a problem, right? You need school supplies, there's a problem. You need a car, you just got a new job, there's a problem, right? We first recognize that there's a problem, that there's a need. Even when it comes to clothes, you're like, man, I don't have a green hoodie. I need a green hoodie, right, to match my clothes or something like that, right? But man, this is a problem. Then you gotta go down a rabbit hole to kind of satisfy. You're like, well, what kind? I want a logo in front of, not a logo, right? Something of the sort. Then you do the information search, right? Information search. Maybe first you go Google to see like, hey, I think Google might come up with the best search results, and I can go to Google Images and see a ton of stuff first, see what websites those images are linked to, and then maybe like, you know what, maybe I'll go on TikTok Shop, see what's offered there, right? Maybe you go on eBay, maybe you go on TV, maybe you go on H&M, maybe you go on Zara, right? You start to filter down the information set. And then with all that, you evaluate all the alternatives. All right, which one is the cheapest? one is the best quality, which one was exactly like the thing that I originally had in my mind conceptually, right? And then you start to think of what you would give up, right? You have to make a choice. And then we finally make the choice, right? We purchase the product or the service and decide where to go. Here, in the stages in consumer decision making, right? First, get problem recognition. Here they're saying Chan is fed up with his old TV that has bad sound reproduction, right? So this individual Chan has a TV that's old and wants to get rid of it, right? And so he could do information search, right? Search the web to learn about more TVs, evaluate the alternatives, compare several models in the store in terms of reputation and available features, right? You may want TV that already have built-in apps, right? Everything kind of built in, all the search sort of features that you can use. Maybe you want one with a smart remote on it, right? Start building all those features, then you make a choice, right? One model because it has a feature that really appeals to them, which is usually the priority, the thing we're not willing to give up on. Something we really, really want. Some people are aesthetic, some people just go for looks, right? There's TV sites, some people just go for size. Some may say, no, I'm not buying no off-brand that I don't know about. I'm only gonna buy Sony, right, or reputable brand because it kind of reflects quality. And then you get the outcomes. Outcomes to be like, hey, I'm happy, I'm satisfied, or I'm dissatisfied. I want to return it, I'm gonna leave a bad review, something of the sort. Shan brings home the TV and enjoys his purchase. So here's it, he's satisfied with going through all sort of these 5 processes. The relationship between the amount of information search and product knowledge. Right? We say here on x-axis, we have the product knowledge, and here we, on the y-axis, amount of search. Right? So low product knowledge, low search, we go up. Higher search, the more product knowledge we get. We say at some point, the human mind gets too saturated with alternatives, such as with TikTok, such as with Instagram. You're bombarded with so many things that you can't even make a choice. Right? We say you go to a restaurant and you're like, hey, it's too many items. Too many items, you're gonna make a bad choice, right? Because we already say that your mind kind of shuts off, it has a threshold. Right? Your rationality. Like, I can't even think rational anymore. At this point, I don't care. Just pick something. And you pick something and then you reflect on it later. That was a bad choice. Right? So you, as a company, because you want to just give limited amount of options, right? Because the human mind gets sort of exacerbated at some point. Limited amount of options, and you provide as much information just with those options, right? So there's a fine line between giving the right amount of information with very limited options. So some people may appeal to, say, the luxury brand of clothing because you're like, hey, there's only so many clothes they offer every season. Not many people can afford them, but at least I don't have to think that much. And then you may go in Zara or H&M or TJ Maxx or Marshalls. You're like, man, I gotta be here for like hours just to go through all this stuff just to find a decent sweatshirt or something. Right? So it's what you're willing to pay for. Some people are like, I don't have that time. Right? I can care less about the price because I pay for the same time. And other people go back, no, I got the time. It's all about money. I want to save the dollar. And so I'll get it all the time. I'll go away and get more information, see more stuff. Right? And then finally, even that person kind of crashes and like shock till you drop phenomenon. Right? Finally, you drop it. Right? You start making random, you start buying the random things you check out, random coffee mug, on the way to check out, you buy some random piece of thing that you absolutely don't need at all, right? You'll never use it. So it's a relationship, right? Perfect information, Alright, so we say, hey, states of being, right? Occurs when consumers see the difference between the current state and ideal state. I'm hungry, is a state of being, right? You're hungry, you can't think, you cranky, you're not good food, you're really concerned about things except your hunger. And then you say your ideal state, you go say, I would go for some pizza. I think pizza will put me in a really good, wonderful mood. So it's pizza. Right? Nathan, how did you get to pizza? Why is pizza popular? Was it something you saw subconsciously? Did you smell pizza earlier? You smelled pizza yesterday. It's something that you deposited in your memory some point this week that you don't even know why you want it. You just want it, right? But anyway, there's a state. And the ideal state is pizza. Right? So you have the deep recognition, actual state starts to decline. Opportunity recognition, ideal state moves up. Right? So they kind of need each other at some point. Once you satisfy and get what it is you want, right? So you move towards your ideal state. And then with information search, right? We say the process by which we survey the environment for appropriate data to make a reasonable decision. Right? We think of coming to this university. Like, how many universities around the world? Right? A ton. How many universities in America? A ton. How many universities in the Midwest? A ton. Illinois. Chicagoland area. Right? We have a ton of alternatives. But then you think realistically, when you do a Google search, has any one of you ever in your life went to the second page of the Google results? You have often, or just
When I'm desperate for information.
all right? So we got one exception to the rule. Anyone else? You've gone for more information.
The first page was not what I was looking for, so I went to the second page.
And you found it on the second page. Interesting. Anyone else?
Yes.
Same thing. It's interesting, right? I don't know, it's a culture. But we think, hey, for the most part, human beings want convenience. We don't want to go to the second page, right? It's too much information, it's too much work, right? We in our minds think that the first page are optimized to give the best choices imaginable. In our mind, that may not be true, right? It may not be true. Like, oh, you should go to the second page, right? But in our mind, we're thinking, hey, first page has the best results because they pay to be on Google. They pay Google, right? And maybe pay some decent money to be on that first results page, right? And so the same way kind of goes with us making decisions. We're not thinking about the second wave of the environment. We're thinking about the immediate environment first. So we're scanning to make appropriate decisions based on that immediate environment, right? Reason. Things that are pre-purchase of ongoing search, right? Internal or external search, right? Online search and cyber-mediators, right? Internal or external. I mean, like, if we actually know a brand we like, and like, that's the only brand we buy from, right? We search it through that website and we may put something in the saved list, save it for later, right? I want to think about it. I really like about thinking about how hard it is, right? Add it to a list, or you just put it in the cart and come back to it, right? So you're like, hey, there's some sort of even internal sort of searching happening. And then we got this online search and cyber mediators, right? Third-party options, using search engine optimization. And then we have to evaluate the alternatives, mentally, conceptually. We have our evoke set, which is our sort of ideal things that we want, right? Ideal things that we desire, such as Gustav Eiffel, right? Eiffel Tower. Who here's been to Paris besides who here wants to go to Paris? Paris is beautiful. the best cities in the world. Highly recommend, going. You'll kind of be shocked by how small Mona Lisa is of the Louvre, you know? Like this kind of stuff. Oh, you say, hey, you know what, there's Paris, or I'll consider ideally an alternative, right? So usually we get kind of an A and B, right? We always have a plan A or plan B. Plan A, like, oh, we really would love to go to Paris. Plan B, like, oh, Paris might be a little chilly. Okay? So maybe I'll go to Resort Island, lay on the beach, but then this is it. It's kind of like, there's only so much of the same stuff you can see every day. Some people love being out there. Right? But you're like, hey, Paris is a grand city, there's so much to do, so much to see. Said going to a remote island, not so much to do, but that's not the point. Right? The point is like maybe you just there beauty and to relax. Hypothetical alternatives for a TV set. So our evaluative criteria, right? So we're looking at some of the rankings of importance here from 1 to 6. Right? Our prime wave, excellent, or poor, or good. How we kind of our precision, right? Excellent, poor, or good. And what's this one? So prime wave, precision, and kind of sheet. Right? So we get kind of 3 different TV sets. Right? Brands. And we're looking at the attributes, the size of the screen, stereo broadcast capability, brand reputation, on-screen programming, cable-ready capability, and sleep time. Right? She said this person actually ranked sleep timer as very, very important, right? So very important. And so we're just looking at different brands. So I'm gonna look at this one's excellent, or for sleep timers. We put all of this information together, right? It's kind of a matrix, right? We place all the information together in our minds and come up with a final sort of result, right? And we make a decision based on these sets. Like, it's kind of complex just for a TV set, but it's really how it works. We're looking at things, walking through a store, be Costco, Target, whatever. Oh, I got a shoe. Looks like high quality, has good design, right? And you look at the features. This has this doesn't have that. And we kind of make decisions based on that. Compensatory rule. Simple additive rule leads to the option with the largest number of positive attitudes. So let's see back to this. Largest number of positive attitudes. So we say, hey, you know what? Prime wave has 1, 2, 3, 4 excellent. Precision has 1, 2, 3 excellent. Sheeta gap 1. So maybe we immediately eliminate Sheeta and says, now let's count. We're like, all right, there's good, there's 1 good each, 1 poor, 2 poor. And finally say, hey, since this has 2 poor, that goes to. So here we're going to follow prime waves. And our mind is 6 attributes had the best overall rating. And this is how we do in real life. Think about even like dating. Everybody has their boxes they like to check, right? But then everybody has non-negotiables, right? So let's say maybe women could be looking non-negotiable might be height. Okay? Maybe that could be a starting point of reference. For men, non-negotiable could be something else, right? And so everything else we'll start evaluating, critiquing. We do this in kind of audits, right? Even in university, you could have ranked, see how many things are good versus your alternatives. We say this is weighted, right? Like weighted averages. Not everything is weighted the same. Some things are more important than others. Allows consumers to take into account the relative importance by weighting, by giving them weights. Right, so we can even give out surveys, questionnaires, focus But we can ask consumers like, hey, tell us from 1 to 5 how important this particular aspect of TVs is to you, right? We get back that information, and then we know what's important. We know what we gotta put money to as marketers, as organizations, right? The other stuff we say, don't put too much money towards that, because that's not important, right? Non-compensatory decision rule, lexicographic rule. Consumers select the brand that is the best, most important attributes. If you say usually, you will select what your non-negotiable, right? Unless, like, the price is maybe just so cheap that it doesn't even matter. Right? Elimination by aspects rule, must have a specific feature to be chosen. Or conjunctive rule, entails processing by brand, right? Like, hey, we have a brand in mind, and that's how we sort of process conjunctive. Or, we say, this has to have, at least gotta be 4K at minimum, right? Anything else, I could live with. All right, for reflection, let's see, is it a problem that consumers have too many choices? Could you think of a time or a place where have been too many choices that allow you to make no decision at all? Would it be better to have fewer choices, right? How does it affect consumer decision making? Anywhere online, you feel like it's too many choices, like a platform or anything of the sort? I think social media is actually buying our attention, right? Buying your attention. So by actually which platform you really use more, right? I don't know. So let's think social media platforms. Tell me the best attributes that you've noticed for TikTok. What are some of the best attributes versus, say, other platforms? Yes?
Well, like how they add like a 30-second ad, like you can't like it out at the end of like, not every video, but some videos. And then even like they'll show like TikTok shop, like if you ever like saw something and you liked it or you saved it, then they'll pop up more. So like they like grab your attention.
So you're like, hey, it's so immediate. That's kind of, is that a good thing or bad? Good for them, maybe
Good for
better?
them.
Or bad for us, right? You're like, yeah, it creates a lot of compulsory sort of behaviors, right? And that's the thing, it's just so immediate. But then for me, that might be a nuisance, an annoyance for it to be a video every time I log, just open the app, right? 3 seconds. I'm just waiting for it. Like, I'm not gonna buy it because you annoy me, right? Maybe if you did it a little bit more sneaky, it would entertain. Anyone else? Instagram. Good attributes versus the other platforms that make you kind of say, hey, you're more into Instagram versus the others. Or Facebook or Snapchat. Not big social media users?
On Twitter, they hide in like likes, so you can't know what other people like.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Twitter is good for people that may want to, quote unquote, hide some of the things they're actually interested in, right? Because it'd be very controversial stuff, very salacious stuff, right? And maybe that's a good feature to hide what you like, right? But you know that you like it because it's gonna show up on your algorithm, right? So it's coming into your feed because that's what you're interested in, but other people can't see the crazy stuff that you're into. There's things like feature creep, right? There's things like social scoring, right? How we sort of evaluate our post-purchase social scoring. We'll talk about that maybe next class. Summarize the ways in which we engage in fast thinking and rules of thumb to make decisions. We have habitual decision making, right? Where we form habits, usually it takes about 90 days to form a habit, right? In which case we say it becomes long-term memory storage. We automatically sort of think about these things. And we behave in a way that sort of make us compulsory to things. And usually places in our years environment knows that, right? So if you go to the grocery store, in your neighborhood, you're probably buying the same stuff over and over again. You start to see coupons according to what you buy, right? And they sort of market that feature. We get some other things. Inertia means that it involves less effort to throw a familiar package into the cart, right? You're kind of moving along. You don't want to stop this process of your habit, right? So you're less effort to throw something, familiar package into the cart. And then brand loyalty, right? Describes a pattern of repeat purchasing behavior, conscious decision to continue buying the same brand. Anyone buy the same brands here, like over and over again? What do you buy?
It's not like a consistent purchase, but whenever I need new headphones, I always buy JBL because that's what I got first and I really liked it. And so I figured I don't need to shift away from that if they're still doing a good job.
Yeah, we buy what we're familiar with, right? And JBL, we probably were introduced to it as an excellent sound quality, right? They use them in the movie theaters, right? Usually use them at the nightclubs, right? We look at the speakers nightclubs with JBL. So from that sort of perspective, we like, hey, go with what you know, right? Why deviate from what you know? What was the point? Anyone else? Like brands that you buy over and over again, like you're completely loyal to.
Under Armour.
Why Under Armour?
Just like how it fits me.
Right, so you're like, hey, Under Armour. You're like, Nike may not fit as great. They look great. Adidas may not fit best too, right? You're like, hey, for you, you know exactly what you're gonna get in buying Under Armour when it comes to fit, right? Fit your body. Anyone else? For me, it's Ralph Lauren. Like I buy just a ton of Ralph Lauren clothes, whether it be like Polo brand or Ralph Lauren Purple Label or something of the sort, right? I just feel that it meets the perfect balance of price, quality, and aesthetics and look, right? For my own sort of appeal. And then too, for cars, I always tend to buy the European cars. I kind of hate American cars. But I just, maybe I think that American cars are too light. So I think European cars are more artistic, right? Curves and things of that nature. Right? So I do have a brand loyalty, right? Like Mercedes, Audi, BMW, and I don't know Ferrari too, but it's just one of those. So yeah, I have brand loyalty to European cars. All right, and then think of some common country of origin effects, watches and wines, which affect your consumer choices. Do you have a preference too because of the country certain things come from? Or maybe your own sort of ethnic group? Do you feel that you have some sort of something that affects your consumer choices and behavior for those reasons? What do you think? Do you have a preference based on country of origin? Or maybe, your own sort of lineage? Yes.
I feel like some people have like a preference for what like kind of country their car comes from. Like some people will find American cars,
Yeah.
Japanese cars.
Some would say, hey, the Japanese make the greatest cars on the planet. Therefore, they have a preference for reliability, which is Japan, because either Honda or Toyota. Right? Someone even like myself, I probably buy German. I think the Germans might have the best design with decent quality. I think even if it's cars, I think the British make the most beautiful cars in the world, but the most crappiest cars you would never want to own in your life. Right? The Range Rover is one of the worst cars to ever own on the planet. It's the most beautiful SUV I've ever seen, in my opinion. And the reliability, it's just unreliable. Everything, there's always a problem. Right? Maserati, right? Maserati is like notorious. If you go on Facebook Marketplace, you probably find a cheap Maserati for like $25,000, $30,000, and only be like 6 years old. 7 years old. You're like, why? How's that possible? The car costs $200,000 brand new. It's reliable, right? And too expensive to maintain, right? So you think like, oh, the tire, you need a tire. The tire can cost $5,000. It's like something ridiculous. So it doesn't make sense to kind of own those types of cars. But that kind of affects my thought process. Anything else you could think of? Things that are made in Italy, or things that are made maybe in Spain, Mexico, anything that you're kind of attached to. What do you think ways in which brands from other countries do to compete such effects? Like, what do you observe that brands that do come from other countries, how do they sort of use that in order to get you to think that's better quality or better performance or more reliable? What are some things have you seen like that? Do you have an example? Like, what does made in America mean to you? American made. And any products with made in America that kind of holds value or something like that. Right? We may think that America makes the best pickup trucks in the world, right? For some reason, right? Maybe it's the commercials, Ford, the durability. We may have that sort of mindset. Maybe we think made in Italy means luxury. And anything made in Italy is supposed to be better than something not made in Italy, right? There's all sort of effects that countries and companies within those countries can use to create these effects. All right, and then we have behavioral biases, homo economicus, right? Kind of just a play on the words. Here, economic man regards us as ideal decision makers with completely rationality and access to information. So some people are regarded thinking that they have the perfect sort of balance of rationality in their decision-making process, which is a complete bias. We think we have it, right? But there's so many other options. And remember, we say decision happens because of time, opportunity, chance, and probably mood and motivation, right? So you'll never have perfect information, right? But we have this sort of behavioral biases as we do. And then we have homo ludens, man the player, recognizes the emotional, more lighthearted aspects of consumption that result in joy, fantasy, and creativity, right? So we do have someone, you were saying that you make impulsive decisions when you buy, right? But you don't regret, right? You don't live with regret about the decisions. So we say, hey, maybe there's more of an emotional or lighthearted aspect to the consumer decision process for some people, right? And so maybe they just always see it as joy, fantasy, and creativity, and doesn't have regrets about it. Heuristics. Anyone knows what heuristics are? Right, mental shortcuts. Right? You walk into the grocery store, first thing you think of is where's the hot sauce? Like, man, let me think, where's the hot sauce? Two choices. You can go find the hot sauce on your own, or you can go ask a clue. Right? You're like, I'll just find it on my own. You go check the condiment aisle where ketchup and mustard is. Right? You're using these mental shortcuts to right? Find the solution to a problem. You go into another aisle, no hot sauce, right? And then finally think of like, maybe it's in the ethnic aisle, right? So you try about 3 or 4 aisles before you recognize that it is probably in the ethnic aisle. Because you're like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why don't people condiments? Isn't hot sauce a condiment? Like, yeah, but it's also very ethnic, right? The spice is hot, not everybody wants it. Right, so we use that. Or we could have got an algorithm, which is perfect information that leads to usually perfect results, which is, we could have won the asinine, right? But that requires so much effort, so we usually have mental accounting biases, right? We'd rather kind of find it using shortcut thinking as opposed to algorithm thinking, right? Where we sort of use many, many steps. Right? So say mental rules of thumb range from the general higher products, high price products, or high quality products. Right? Thinking like, hey, if it's more expensive, it's better quality. Which usually is a line of shortcut thinking. Right? To the specific buy down of the brand of sugar my mother always bought. Right? So Tim, you mentioned JBL, right? Like, I don't know who introduced you to JBL. Did you introduce it to yourself or someone bought you? that?
Well, I had gone into the store with the intention of buying headphones and just kind of tried some of them on. I thought they were the most comfortable.
Okay. So like, hey, buy what you know. Buy what mom bought. Buy it because mom is excellent. Mom is mom. Mom makes great decisions and trust mom. So I trust what I know. I know what you know. Alright. And then we'll come back to this on Thursday. Anyone got a blurb they want to share before we get out of here? Alright, well, we'll try to do all of those on Thursday. And we'll meet back in the old classroom on Thursday. So keep that in mind, but I'll try to find out if this one is available. In that case, maybe we'll come back here. All right, everyone, have a great day. I'll see you on Thursday.